This was not the day that James Houston expected when he left for Ecola State Park. His visit to the beautiful and rugged Oregon coastline would bring him face to face with death.
Dangerous area. It attracts a lot of rock climbers and that sort of thing, and they're not paying attention to the tides, and next thing you know, they're trapped.
James and his friend Kevin were enjoying the beach in a deserted cove, unaware that the tides had changed. Before they knew it, the entrance into the cove was underwater. Their only way out was up. Kevin scaled the 200-foot cliff to safety. James was not as lucky. He was frozen 150 feet from the water, unable to move up or down. Air Station Astoria was called.
I was the co-pilot on that case. It was a little unique, and as we came over, we noticed a cliff rescue team from Cannon Beach Fire Rescue was already on scene there. In this particular case, the cliff rescue team was out on such a jetty that they had nothing to tie their ropes off to. It was just a barren piece of rock that this gentleman was stuck on. He was about 30 feet below them. So they gave up that effort. We had told them we had a cliff rescue team on board, which consists of our rescue swimmer and our flight mech.
Hey, you want me to try and put you down at the dirt spot right there to the left of them?
Walk me down and then over, and then come up underneath them. Then the rotor wash, and if he falls, I'll be underneath. As hope to God it works for him.
We do a really high hoist. It's harder on the rescue swimmer, but it's also less wind for the person we're trying to save. Our wind wash is about 100 miles an hour, and as we come over the top of them, we don't want to blow rocks down on top of them and maybe have them let go.
James had already been on the cliff for nearly 2 hours. His hands were going numb. It was becoming a race against time.
Right, look, that's good.
Okay, come here.
Roger, let me lower him down again.
Okay.
Deploy the aircraft.
Swimmers are crazy.
We had just recently, like within the last 2 weeks, completed this new training process or this new deployment process called the direct deployment. And I hadn't heard of anybody using it yet. But it was a perfect case for using this.
We just want to set the swimmer softly onto the face of the cliff. And now, once he's got a good firm grasp on the cliff, he's now a repeller, and we're the thing he's tied off to. So now the swimmer is able to stay on the side of the cliff just by the tension on the cable and give us hand signals. You know, he'll give us a right arm, the helicopter will fly to the right, and he'll just run along the side of the cliff. The stranded person's always clinging to the cliff with a death grip. The direct deployment method, all the swimmer has to do is come right up behind the person, throws a sling right around their chest area, so they don't even have to let go of the cliff. Puts a string around their chest, hooks it back up to the rescue swimmer harness, and then gave a thumbs up to the helicopter.
I have thumbs up, prepare to take the load, and we're pulling him off the mountain. He's clear.
At that time, our main job is to fly away from the cliff. We don't want to drag them around any part of the cliff. So we fly directly away from the cliff. What that does is it brings the swimmer and the survivor off the cliff right away.
You know, you always tell them afterwards, you know, that wasn't a real smart thing you did. And, oh yeah, we'll never do it again. But it was exciting because it went really well.
Quite relieved and very happy that the Coast Guard was there. You know, they saved my life.